Hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. It is Sunday night. I told you I'd be doing a special weekend edition of Whiskey Blooded, and here it is for you today. Sorry I waited till the end of the weekend, but I wanted to do something that was a little bit different than our normal format. We're going to do beer today. So we're going to compare two beers, and in particular, they are hard root beers. And you've probably been hearing or seeing a lot of them because this is a slightly new thing that's coming up, especially in our area up in Michigan where we have a lot of craft stuff. This is going to be the review of, it's actually a comparison, rather, of two beers, hard root beers. The first one is Not Your Father's Root Beer. There we go. Not Your Father's Root Beer, which was pretty hard to get, but now is pretty much everywhere. So Not Your Father's Root Beer versus Coney Island Root Beer. Sorry about the glare again. So Not Your Father's versus Coney Island Root Beer. They are two kind of similar hard root beers, but they taste a little bit different. The Not Your Father's Root Beer is 5.9% alcohol by volume, and the Coney Island, I had to get this one in cans because I couldn't find anything else, is 5.8, so they're about the same alcohol by volume. The Not Your Father's, if you find it on tap somewhere, they usually have a 10% version, which is cool. And then they even have, I think, it's an 18 or a 19% one, which is different. And the Coney Island, I haven't seen anything on tap for them yet. So we're going to start with the Coney Island. So this is the Coney Island root beer. I've had a couple of these and a couple of the other ones. So let's go through this. And I'm not going to go as much into taste because we're just tasting hard root beer. I'm just going to tell you which one I like more because they're about the same price. And so once again, this is Coney Island root beer. Hard root beer. Hard root beer. So let's try it. So this one, at least what I've gotten from the last couple and from this Coney Island hard root beer, it tastes just like root beer. I mean, it's spot on just root beer. You can only just barely taste the alcohol in it. You cannot even barely even tell it's got alcohol. So it's just a regular hard root beer. Tastes just like root beer. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty, carbonated, tasting just like normal root beer. So pretty freaking good for just something that's 6%. So I like it. It's very sweet though. So if you really like root beer, you're going to like this one. Now this is Not Your Father's Root Beer. Haha, funny name. Someone's clever. Both of them come in bottles. I just happened to pick the canned one up of this. It doesn't really matter to me. The overall appearance of this is a little bit better. I actually bought a case of this. It came in a really cool case, whereas the Coney Island didn't. So let's try this one. This is Not Your Father's Root Beer. Small Town Brewery is who makes this one. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you that. Small Town Brewery, Coney Island Brewing. So let's try this one. Once again, this is Not Your Father's Root Beer. No, this is a darker tasting root beer. It's got more, it's got the root beer taste, definitely the root beer taste, but it's got more spice to it. It's got more bite. It's got black licorice. It's got a little bit more crafty taste to it. So you're getting a meatier root beer. If you want something that tastes exactly like root beer, that's super, super sweet, go for the Coney Island. If you want something that tastes like a craft beer, but in a root beer format, go for this. Let me try this one more time. Yeah, you've got spice, black licorice, the root beer taste, and then a little bit of like a very light nutty finish, like chestnut finish. So I do, out of the two, I'm not going to do like a score out of 100 because I don't do root beer enough to rate them. I'll just tell you which one I like more. I like this more for drinking, but if you put in this one, in the Coney Island, if you put ice cream in it, that's always great to put dairy and alcohol in your body at the same time. If you put ice cream in it, this one makes a really cool alcohol-based root beer float. This one, though, is just better. I think more people like this. The Coney Island's more of a girly hard root beer. And this is more of a man's root beer. This tastes like a craft beer. This tastes like a regular old hard root beer. So look, that's my thought. I would try them both. They're popping up like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if more companies jump into this hard root beer thing because the hard cider thing's starting to kind of die. And what was the big one a couple years ago? The lime stuff is starting to die. So I wouldn't be surprised if a couple more companies came along and did some hard root beer stuff. But these two are the first real kind of pioneers going into it. They came out, I've been seeing them at least around the same time, and they're getting really popular here in Michigan. Every party store has them, and all the bars are putting them on tap. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I will see you guys on Wednesday for our normal thing where we'll review whiskey, which is something I understand much more of than hard root beer. So we'll see you then. Thanks again. Thanks for joining Whiskey Blooded. Have a great rest of your night. Hopefully the Lions win tonight. Thanks, guys. Bye.